today's activity, we're doing the bracket, activity 1.5.6. This is what your final bracket will look like, but we're going to walk you through how to do that here. And there are a few changes we're going to make from the directions. So if you're using the direction sheet as well, it'll be a little bit different than what they have here, but for the most part, it'll be the same. If you notice, one of the things they mentioned in step number 2 is select the metric unit. So this is all in millimeters. So when we go to iPro and select New, we got to come over here to the left, or yours may be on the right, should be on the side somewhere, metric unit, and select standard.mm, or standard mm for millimeter.ipt, and select Create. Okay. And we're going to create a sketch, and we're going to create it here on the X and Y plane. And if I look at my sketch sheet here, now I'm going to have to use a little bit different numbers than they have here at the bottom. The numbers at the bottom are for drawing it on the X and Z plane. But if I look at my sketch sheet there, I can see that it's 156 millimeters wide. So this top number is 156. And I can see that it is 87 millimeters tall. And that will be my rectangle. And I can see it's 50 millimeters thick. So when I go to extrude, I will put in 50 here. Okay. And now just so we can use the same home feature every time, right click on your little home up here, select set current view as home, fit to view. So when we click home, it doesn't rotate around on you. Okay. Now, that's the first step. We're going to cut out the sides next. So if you flip over to the next page, you'll see figure 2 up here, and you're going to select a new sketch to draw that rectangle here on the top. So I'm going to go to rectangle. We'll start up here in the corner, and this is 65 from the corner, 65 millimeters in length, so 65 millimeters down, and 32 wide. 32 goes in that bottom box, 65 in the box at the left. Hit enter. Same thing over here from this corner. 32, tab, 65. Hit enter. Okay, and there's our 2 sketches. And it tells us to extrude, cut those all the way out. So we're going to finish the sketch. And we're going to extrude cut those 2 shapes out all the way through. And there we go. Now our next feature is going to come here on this front face. So create a 2D sketch right here. Now it doesn't give us, it does give us some dimensions, but it doesn't give us enough to put them all in the rectangle. The only dimension it's given for the rectangle is 50 millimeters wide. So that bottom number is 50. Hit enter. But it does give us some other dimensions to center this upright. It tells us that the right side of the square is 21 millimeters from the side. So I use my dimension tool and set that to be 21. And it tells us the bottom of the rectangle is 29 millimeters from the bottom of the bracket. And there is our square. And it tells us we're going to cut this out, but we're not going to cut it all the way. We're going to extrude cut 27 millimeters. So cut it about halfway back in there. And there we go. Now, this is where we're going to start to add the holes. We're going to add a hole here, here, and 2 in the back piece here. So we're going to do these one at a time on the sides, and then we'll do these 2 in the middle. So create 2D sketch over here. We're going to place our point out here in the middle, and we're going to dimension it 16 from the side, which if you get it right on the center is where it'll be, and just a little off center from the back, 23 millimeters. So 16 by 23. Finish the sketch. Now this is a counterbore hole. It's the second type here. And it's got a couple different dimensions here we've got to fill in here. So if we look at figure 4 over here, it will show us what our dimensions should be. 18 goes right here. 10 millimeters goes right here. And 13 millimeters goes right here. Okay? Everything else stays the same. And we're going to put the same hole over here on this side. So we're going to create a sketch. Click right here. Place our point down. And it's 16 millimeters from the side. And 23 from the back. And we'll finish that sketch. Select hole. And you don't have to change anything. Same hole on the other side. So select OK. And there's our two counterbore holes. Now we're going to put some countersink holes here in the back. So we're going to select Create 2D Sketch and select this back face right here. And we're going to place 2 points down, one right under the other. And the dimensions for these are 23 millimeters from the sides. So they're both 23 from the side. We can do that. And the first one is 16 millimeters from the top, or excuse me, 15. And the second one is 42 from the top. Alright, and then finish the sketch. Select hole. Now make sure you change here to the fourth type down here, countersink. The top is 20, 90 degrees stays the same, and 13 down here at the bottom. Everything else stays the same. Now select OK. Now, this is where we can get a little bit tricky here, and I've messed up a couple times doing this. It's the filleting the edges. We don't want all these straight edges. We kind of want to round some things out. We're going to make a large fillet, 12 millimeters here. You can type that in either box there. And we're going to get these 4 corners. So click on the 4 corners here. You may have to rotate your cube around to get all 4 of them. Now, the inside corner is right here. So this corner right here. Rotate your cube around. Your corner right here. So that should be a total of 6 edges selected. You'll hit apply on that. Okay. Now, anything else that is straight, we're going to make a smaller fillet of just 2 millimeters. So pretty much all these top pieces up here are going to be filleted. And that will pretty much do it right there. Just those ones around the top and these on the sides here. A total of 12 fillets for the rest of it. And that will be all you have to do. Click the check mark. And there's your bracket. If you want to color it, highlight everything over here, shift and highlight, change your color up here. Save that as Bracekt and make sure you submit it into activity 1.5.6.